afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Leschber with 1836 Property Management, as always in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas. Come on and see us if you're ever on South Congress. Today, we're going to shoot a video for you. This video goes over the Q2 2024 Resident Satisfaction Survey responses. Now, why do we do these, right? Because you're going to have some people that are happy and some people that are sad. And why would we share all this information with you guys? Well, we want you to know that we're actually reading these, that we actually talk to every single team if you list them on here or you put your name, and that we're trying to use this as information so that we can improve our services, get feedback from you guys, and just deliver a better overall experience. Surprisingly, over time, we find out that some of the things that are already in place aren't effectively communicated, or they're just not being heard. And so we're going to dig into some of these results for you, at least 5 of them today. We always get some positive ones like, I can't read the expletive, but it's a very positive one. It says, Forrest and Mike are the so on and so forth. So we love all the positive things. Team works fast to get maintenance requests assigned promptly. All those are positive and those are great and we love them, but they're not as really great for educational purposes. So we're going to share some of the negative ones with you today so that we can help educate and share information and go from there. So the first one is, I would like to know the property's pool access code. Well, if you live in a community where there's a pool, you deserve access to that pool and the code. However, we don't always have the code. Sometimes the HOA may or may not share it with us, but you have a right as a resident to that code. So please go ahead and submit requests like that through your resident portal. We may have to reach out to the HOA, or you may even have to take a copy of your lease to the HOA so that they'll give you that pool code or pool tag or key card or whatever they have in that community to get you access to it. But I'll make sure that we get this addressed for you. I've got your name on here, even though I don't have the team that's managing the property, but we will go through these for you. The next one I want to go through is another singular one. We'll do 2 of those, and we've got one that always repeats with almost every survey. We'll hit that one last. So very slow to get things done, and contacting is difficult. Still trying to have an issue address regarding inspection. Let me dig into this a little bit. I really appreciate you did put your name and also your team so that we can cross-reference that property, that ticket, and see what's going on with those. So let me dig into it a little bit. There could be an issue with the vendor or the part or who knows what. So I'm going to dig into that for you, make sure that your team is aware of it. We actually meet this Wednesday and go over all these with our quarterly meeting with the entire team. So we'll get that knocked out for you. Another one is that the phone system is a complaint. We can barely hear y'all when we call in. We have not ever heard that before. And I even use the phone system to call the team. So I'm not sure if it's a connection issue. Maybe the individual using the phone had a bad connection on their VoIP, voice over internet protocol, or maybe it was their mic wasn't right in their face. I'm not sure, but I will ask the team members to make sure that they speak up and to ask if you guys can't clearly hear them, because we have to be able to communicate. So the last one we're going to go over today is going to be the one we get all the time. And I'm going to start off with the first one because this is repeated. Quarterly inspections seem a bit much and invasive, a little off-putting. The next one, it's on the same topic, goes on, but basically says that they're somewhat inconvenient and they have to be home in your work schedule and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to read one more of these. Having someone inspect your place, and you're expected to have all animals locked up, including a cat, and blah, blah, blah. It's difficult, so on and so forth. So we address this almost every quarter. We'll keep addressing it until you guys are at least in communication with us on the why. And I don't think you have to like it. You don't have to hate it, but it is a necessary evil of renting a property. We would rather not go to your properties. If everything turned out roses, we would sit in our office and we would call you guys and send you cookies and life would be good. But the truth is, out of 100 tenants, you've got 5 that are saints and 5 that are sinners and 90 that are just trying to get along with their life and move on. And those 5 have to be identified, because those properties, let's just put it this way, a family member of mine just had a property turnover and it was over $40,000 because they didn't walk it frequently. Now, I'm not going to say who that was, but it wasn't managed by 1836. And once you're behind the curve on that residency, if you will, the damage is done. You can't undo it. The tenants aren't going to go back in and fix it. So we have to walk those properties twice a year at bare minimum just to make sure that everyone is doing their part. But we don't want to go in and see dirty underwear or anything else either. It's uncomfortable for our techs. It's uncomfortable for you, but it is a necessary evil of renting so that we can verify that these properties stay in good shape. You can imagine an owner gets a $40,000 or $50,000 bill and says, well, why did you let the tenant do this? And then they go to the tenant and say, well, you have to fix this. And the tenant goes, I'm not paying for this, sue me. And so it's not the owner's responsibility to pick up that bill. Thus, we all have to do preventative measures to make sure that that doesn't get to that point. Nobody wants to get sued for $45,000 and think that, well, I mean, all that happened was the dog did a little bit of damage. It does get to that. So we apologize that it's inconvenient. We do offer that if you have a special schedule, we can schedule with you. We'll do our best to be quiet. We do our best to get in and out. We do our best to let you know when we're going to be there. And you do not have to be home to be there. You can be gone and we can provide access and everything else. So just keep that in mind that we're doing our best to work with you guys, but we do have to walk the properties. That is one of the things the owners expect us to do, and it's preventative. We don't do it quarterly, contrary to popular belief on the first comment. We couldn't afford to do it quarterly, and biannual or twice a year is the least we can do it to be effective. If we went out once a year, there'd be too much damage already. So I think in the process, I did skip one of these, so I want to be able to make sure I give you those 5 at least. The last one was having service providers that are able to enter when you're not home. Some will, some won't, and that's really up to the comfort of the provider. We do have some key boxes that are on properties permanently, and you guys are welcome to use those if you wish. You can also install your own key box. You can work something out with a provider, and all that's fine, but some just don't have the liability, coverage, desire, risk tolerance to actually walk into homes, because you can only imagine that when something goes missing, that's going to be the first person that's pointed at, even if it was just hidden and displaced but not missing. So a lot of people don't want to take on that risk. Again, this is Matt Leschber with 1836 Property Management. This was our quarter to 2024 resident satisfaction survey results. If we can do anything for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at 1836 Property Management. We're always here to serve you. And tenants, you're just a phone call or a website portal away from letting us know anything we can do to support you. Have a great rest of the quarter. We'll see you at the end of September.